And good evening, wrestling fans. Jimmy Gimmick here for 13th Floor Productions and W.A.S.P. Wrestling All-Star Promotions. What an exciting main event match we have for you this evening. Shamus Maloney, the Irish Hitman, the Wrestling All-Star Promotions World Television Champion, with his manager, Bobby Creed, taking on the #1 contender for the title, that cantankerous communist that's caused Shamus and Bobby so many problems, the Russian Assassin. And today's referee, Senior Wrestling All-Star Promotions referee, Eric Hoffman. The fans couldn't be more excited about this main event match. Let's take a look at the champion and his manager, Bobby Creed. Wrestling across the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, and Virginia, no one's made a bigger stir in indie pro wrestling than Shamus Maloney, the Irish Hitman, and his manager, Bobby Creed. Under the guidance of his best friend and manager, Bobby Creed, Shamus has fought his way to the top in some of the most prominent independent pro wrestling circuits in the South. Ever since they became friends a couple of years ago, Bobby's been watching Shamus's back, protecting him from underhanded tactics from the likes of Tommy Payne, Mitch Blake, the self-made superstar, and the dangerous Prisoner X. Ladies and gentlemen, the Irish Hitman, Shamus Maloney, and his manager, Bobby Creed. After several recent underhanded attacks from behind, Shamus Maloney had a few words to say to the Russian Assassin. Let's take a look.
Shamus Maloney, the Irish Hitman here, and my manager, Bobby Creed, who you all know is the best manager in pro wrestling. I'm tired of you attacking me from behind, Russian Assassin. The last time you did it, if it hadn't been for Bobby Creed, you would have cost me my career. Just some more of your shenanigans. Jumping me and Bobby from behind, you've stooped to an all-time low. So how about this? The main event tonight, Shamus Maloney, the Irish Hitman, with my manager, Bobby Creed, against you, Russian Assassin, with the Wrestling All-Star Promotions television title on the line. If you win, you get the title. We're going to find out tonight. Let's do it, Creed.
So the stage is set, and we'll be right back after these messages. And welcome back, wrestling fans. It's almost bell time as Senior W.A.S.P. referee Eric Hoffman makes his way to the ring. Hoffman selected as the IPW Referee of the Year, and he can certainly hold his own. You can bet he won't be putting up with a lot of nonsense from the Russian Assassin, who should be coming out any moment now. And yes, indeed, here he is from Moscow, Russia, the Russian Assassin. And he's not getting a very warm reception here from this Fleetwood, North Carolina wrestling crowd. Yes, I think it's safe to say this crowd's going to be in favor of Shamus Maloney and Bobby Creed. Over the past few weeks in Wrestling All-Star Promotions, the Russian Assassin has caused Shamus and Bobby a lot of problems, attacking Shamus from behind last month. If it hadn't been for Bobby Creed, Shamus's pro wrestling career would likely be over. And these young wrestling fans here in Fleetwood are really letting this Russian have it. But one thing's for sure, he's no joke. Shamus and Bobby are bound to have their hands full tonight. Since his debut last year in Wrestling All-Star Promotions, he's defeated some of the best wrestlers in independent pro wrestling, including Trapper Jack, Prisoner X, and the Red Dragon. And now he has his sights set on that world television title held by Shamus. Ladies and gentlemen, the #1 contender for that title, the Russian Assassin. And judging by the music, it sounds like it's time for the champion. Here he is, the Irish Hitman, Shamus Maloney, with his best friend and pro wrestling manager, Bobby Creed. Yes, indeed, they're fan favorites here in Wrestling All-Star Promotions and anywhere else they wrestle. Ever since they met, these two seem to be inseparable, relying on each other the way good friends do. A friendship like that could be a lesson for all of us. And as Shamus and Bobby continue to greet these wrestling fans, it looks like the Russian Assassin is having a few heated words with referee Eric Hoffman here. Shamus now up on the ring apron, saying hello to a few wrestling fans he recognizes, and now he climbs on through the ropes into the ring. It looks like this match is about to get underway. Let's go to the ringside announcer.
This match from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 230 pounds, the Russian Assassin.
There's a few celebrities here tonight. Sitting here at ringside, TFWA World Heavyweight Champion Jeff Wellington, along with his manager Elmer Ray Leeper. And sitting on the other side of him, I see his son Dante. Dante, very skilled and athletic as a chip off the old block, already tearing up the mats as a member of the Mat Monsters, a local wrestling club coached by the legendary Alex Ray. And it looks like they're in favor of Shamus Maloney, the Irish Hitman. No doubt about it, these wrestling fans love Bobby Creed. Can't say I blame him, he's a great manager. He's saved Shamus's bacon more times than I can count. Shamus now making one more way around the ring to make sure he has the crowd support. I think it's safe to say he does. These wrestling fans are already on the edge of their seats. And it looks like he's going to get a little last-minute encouragement from Bobby Creed. And all this fan support sure isn't to the liking of the Russian Assassin. Referee Eric Hoffman now calling for the bell. And this main event match is underway. Creed now exchanging some words with the Russian Assassin as the two gladiators begin to circle each other. It really looks like Shamus is chomping at the bit to get this started. And here we go. And it looks like they're going to lock up here. The Russian's hat goes flying, and Shamus backs him into the corner. And Shamus draws back to give the Russian Assassin a well-deserved sock to the jaw. But Shamus's manager, Bobby Creed, reminding him that closed fists are against the rules here. So Shamus lets it go. Talk about a good manager, that's Bobby Creed. Keeping Shamus in line here. Shamus tends to get a little too excited. If it hadn't been for Bobby, he probably would have been disqualified already here. Now they're going to lock up again. Shamus driving the Assassin into the opposite corner. And he rears back again to give him a knuckle sandwich. Trust me, it's well deserved. But once again, Bobby Creed's going to give him some good advice. Don't lose your temper, Shamus. I know it's hard sometimes, but you gotta keep your cool. And now the Russian Assassin complaining about Shamus, saying he's pulling his mask. I highly doubt it. And now the Russian trying to get some crowd support for his accusation. Don't even try it, the crowd seems to be saying. I think it's safe to say that this is just some more shenanigans from the unruly Russian. And now it looks like they're going to lock up for the third time. This time the Assassin's got a handful of Shamus's hair, driving him into the corner turnbuckle. Referee Eric Hoffman now giving the Russian Assassin a warning. Let's see if he gives Shamus a clean break. Not a chance. An underhanded punch to the midsection followed by another. He's got to get him out of that corner. And here comes a big hip toss. The Russian Assassin sending Shamus Maloney crashing to the canvas. The Russian taking a moment to celebrate, but not for long. Now he begins to kick and stomp Shamus in the back with those big Russian boots. Shamus down for a moment, trying to make his way back up to his feet. But here comes the Russian Assassin, and he's choking Shamus on that ring rope. That's against the rules and highly uncalled for, and the crowd's calling him out on it as referee Eric Hoffman starts a count. I've never seen such underhanded tactics. And now he finally lets it go. Shamus's manager, Bobby Creed, now shouting encouragements. Hang in there, Shamus, you can do this, he seems to be saying. And his encouragement seems to be working Shamus back up to his feet. But the Russian Assassin seems to be ready for him. Big Irish whip, how ironic. And a big Russian sickle sends Shamus crashing to the canvas. Bobby Creed trying to rally some crowd support for the champion. It seems to be working. The Russian Assassin now dragging the champ up to his feet here. Another Irish whip, but it's reversed. And it's Shamus with a big clothesline that sends the Russian Assassin crashing to the canvas. The crowd couldn't be more pleased. Nor could Shamus's manager, Bobby Creed. Now Shamus is going to circle the Russian, dragging him up to his feet. And a big right forearm to the back of the Russian's head, knocking him flatter than a Russian pancake. Bobby Creed still cheering the champion on. And now he's going to do a big Irish whip, the Russian across the ring, and a big elbow sends the Russian Assassin crashing to the canvas. And it looks like Bobby Creed approved of that maneuver. And if I know Shamus Maloney, the Irish Hitman, it's time to take this home. Yes, indeed, it looks like he's going to set up the Russian Assassin for an Irish car bomb. The champ has finished lots of matches with this high-risk maneuver. He's climbing up on that second ring rope. Yes, indeed, here comes that Irish car bomb, and here he goes. But the Russian assassin out of the way, Shamus's knee crashing into the canvas. Nobody likes seeing that, least of all Shamus's manager, Bobby Creed. He's still standing here at ringside, encouraging his buddy Shamus. No doubt about it, Shamus couldn't ask for a better manager than Bobby Creed. But he's going to need all the help he can get here as the Russian assassin moves in for the kill. Stomping and kicking the champion. And now he's going to choke him on that bottom ring rope. Referee Eric Hoffman starts a count. The Russian assassin breaking every rule in the rule book, and this crowd's not having it. Again, Eric Hoffman starts a count. But once again, the Russian assassin lets go right before he gets to 5. Now Hoffman giving him a stern warning about using those ropes. Shamus now climbing out of the ring. He's going over to Bobby Creed, his manager. I think they're going to go over some strategies here. Bobby Creed, he's been a wrestling fan his whole life. He knows wrestling strategy as good as anyone, and it looks like he's giving Shamus some advice here. Try to go for some power moves, I believe I heard him say. Use your strength to your advantage. Sounds like good advice to me. And now Shamus rolling back into the ring here. Let's see what happens. Looks like they're going to circle each other again here. And now they're going to lock up. Both struggling for a better position. And here comes Shamus with a big body slam, slamming the Russian assassin, and the crowd couldn't be more pleased. Creed now telling Shamus to stay with it. Don't give him a chance to breathe. And Shamus follows his advice, delivering a big leg drop. And now he's going to cover the challenger up. 1, 2, but he kicks out. One thing's for sure, this is one tough Russian. Creed reminding Shamus again to keep on the pressure, and it looks like he's going to apply a reverse chin lock. And as the champ puts on the pressure, referee Eric Hoffman's moving in close to see if the Russian submits. This could be it. You can only imagine the pressure this move puts on the neck and jaw. But the Russian's got a hand on the rope. Hoffman's going to have to break it up. And it looks like the Russian's going to head out of the ring, perhaps to reconsider his strategy. Wait a minute, it looks like he's coming over here to say something to me. I should have brought a translator, something about Mother Russia, but I couldn't quite make it out with his broken English. I think it ought to be a rule for these foreign wrestlers, either learn to speak English or provide a translator. I only hope he knows enough English to know that if Eric Hoffman gets to 10, he's going to be counted out. Bobby Creed still shouting encouragements to Shamus. Give him the hard way in, I heard Bobby say, and it looks like he's going to go for it. He's got those ring ropes, and it's the hard way in for the Russian assassin. Great idea, Mr. Creed. Shamus sends him flying over the ropes and crashing to the canvas. Follow up with another power move, I heard Bobby say. And Shamus picks up the Russian assassin for a big suplex. The Russian assassin crashing into the canvas. Now cover him up, I hear Bobby Creed saying. And Shamus is going to roll him over. And here comes Eric Hoffman. This could be it. But once again, the Russian assassin manages to get a hold of that ring rope. But now the Russian's going to manage to get in a rake to Shamus's eyes. Looks like he's blinded the Irishman. This doesn't look good. And now the assassin's going to ram Shamus's face into that corner turnbuckle. The champ trying to get away, but the assassin slamming him back into the corner. What's going to happen here? Looks like a big Irish whip into that opposite turnbuckle. But the champion's up with an Irish jackknife. The Russian assassin totally confused here. And here comes Shamus with a big flying right hand that sends the Russian assassin crashing to the canvas. Here comes Eric Hoffman. 1, 2, 3. And it's over. Shamus Maloney, the Irish Hitman, and his manager, Bobby Creed, have defeated the Russian assassin, successfully defending the title. Now Shamus heading out of the ring to give credit where credit is due. He never could have done it without the help of his manager, Bobby Creed. Let's go to the ringside announcer. Well, you saw it here, ladies and gentlemen. Another successful title defense by Shamus Maloney, the Irish Hitman, and his manager, Bobby Creed. Thanks for tuning in to Wrestling All-Star Promotions. This is Jimmy Gimmick, signing off.